everybody. Welcome to Urban Hermit. Cameron Jones here with my co-host,
Jordan Jones.
So what's been happening? You moved back to Iowa. You left us with a cliffhanger. You were about to kill a bunch of wasps, I believe. How'd that go?
Surprisingly well. I guess you just spray them with a bunch of chemicals and then they die and you take down their nest. But I was pretty worried leading up to it. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, if you've listened to our previous episodes, we've had some horror stories with trying to get rid of rodents and other pests before. So,
well, okay. So here's the big thing, right? You get a can of spray, which we did. And I watched YouTube videos and it was people going up to huge hornet nests.
Right.
I'm talking about the size of, if you can picture a globe that you had at school, like that type of thing. Okay. Hornet's nest that's
pretty big. That's bigger than a
basketball.
basketball. That's bigger than a regulation sports ball.
Yeah, so mine was way smaller than that. But it was pretty close to the front door of our house, right? It was just up like on some siding, like in the awning of it. Yep. But it was only like 4 feet away from the door. And every video I watch is like, hey, just be ready to run in case you agitate all these fucking hornets.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, man, I really don't want to deal with that. But I just sprayed them, and it foams up, and I sprayed, like, all kinds. And seems like they died, and I took it out. But, crisis averted. Well, but I did get stung by a wasp, so
leading up
it wasn't my fault. They came at me.
Well, glad to hear it wasn't, a traumatic experience.
Just some tips for you, though, in case you're listening to this and you have a hornet problem. You're supposed to do it at dusk or night. Why? Because supposedly
they fear the
hornets
sun.
Hornets are less active. I guess they're like humans. They have a full day of horneting and stinging people.
Oh, so you're waiting for them to sleep and you're killing them in their beds?
Murdering them. Yeah, I murdered them. Wow. The spray doesn't necessarily kill them, but it will eventually poison them.
So after they creep out, I just got them with a baseball bat.
So I sprayed. I put on my thickest sweatshirt and sweatpants and then ran to the garage after I sprayed.
For the most part, if it's not like a danger, I'm trying to be better at just not killing things and getting them out of the house, like trying to get it on a napkin. But there's one thing I'm still sketched out about. I don't know what spiders are poisonous, or maybe not even poisonous. I just don't like them, and that's just something I'm gonna crush. But if it's not like a pest.
I do feel bad, except I did get stung, and there was a bunch of hornets.
Yeah, okay, so I get it. Yeah, again, that one's more of, this one
I did spray him, and I killed him. If there was an easier way, I guess I would have.
I mean, there was definitely a lot of... Infestation's different. If you have, like, a bug problem you have to get rid of, that's one thing. But, like, if you see that random bug in your house, I'm trying not to kill them all,
The big thing I read is if you don't take care of it, or take care of the hornet's nest as early as you can, because they'll just keep bigging it. They'll keep building it and build it. Sorry. They'll keep adding to it and building it, and that's how you get the hornet's nest,
taking out the whole wall. Okay.
So we got it before that. So I guess it's lucky they stung me, because otherwise I wouldn't have.
I'm sure you would have seen it eventually. It would have become a problem. But, you got it out of the way. That's good.
I guess as we're filling things in, my nice neighbors, we've had 2 zucchinis gifted to us from them because they're growing zucchinis, which is nice, but it seems like our day-to-day won't be as intrusive.
Okay.
Although if I am outside, I do have to talk to them, which I'm
every single time
I'm learning to do. If they're out there, yeah, I got to say something. I mean, if I'm backing out in my car, I can maybe just give it a wave. But since they give me things and ask me things, I gotta like touch base.
Oof,
so I'm wondering,
my nightmare.
Am I too closed off? Am I not being like friendly enough? And I know I'm talking to him. I'm doing what you got to do.
You're preaching the choir here, because I don't want that either. I mean, I'm kind of lucky because most of my close neighbors, like both the surrounding ones, are mostly Spanish speaking. So we can obviously communicate with each other, but we're both kind of just like, let's not go through the trouble. Let's not go through that. So it's just, nods and hello, how you doing? How's the dog? Just simple things, which is nice.
I ran into somebody at the neighborhood mailbox area. So I talked to that guy.
Cool.
And then I'm
nice.
And as I was walking back, I'm like, oh, maybe I could be friends with him. But I'm not going to. Why would I want to? I got some friends.
Have you been seeing your friends since you've been back? I know a lot of your friends still kind of live near the area.
Not yet. It was nice. A lot of people reached out the day of the move, like, do you need any help? And I'm like, no. I haven't yet. I think we're going back this weekend because it's Megan's our baby shower, but for Megan. So I'll see some of them, and then I'll try to meet up with the people in CR sometime.
Nice. That'll be good.
But it's just, we're still moving in.
In my recent news, we are in the closing process on our first house, which has been surprisingly not stressful at all. But that's like 100% because Nicole is taking care of all the phone calls pretty much for me, unless I have to be on the phone because it's like, legally going under my name. She's pretty much just handling all the incoming stuff. And granted, the amount of emails I've gotten now recently from just like spam calls and emails from just random loan shit and mortgage shit has gone up.
If you give any information out there, they're on
dude,
you.
It's insane. I'm getting for credit union things just like 5 calls a day from this one company, so that's a little annoying, and I do have to just ignore that. But as far as the actual people talking, my wife is taking care of it, so thank God for her. She's really getting me through this.
Yeah, maybe I should hire her for when we have to buy a house, or when we buy a house. We don't have to.
We watch a lot of HGTV and this kind of home buying stuff. So she's kind of like, I mean, granted, it sucks having to do a lot of this work, but she's kind of loving it. We have our home inspection tomorrow, which she's going to be tagging along for. I'm going to pop in for a bit during my lunch break, but fingers crossed that there's nothing.
From what I understand, that's the make or break about a lot of these things.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, just over the phone, we talked to the guy, and he was looking at pictures. He's like, it seems like they're replacing a lot of like the structural stuff, the siding, the roof. So, like, it seems like it has good bones, and it's just like cosmetic stuff is what we're fingers crossed hoping for.
The type of bones that are bad, I believe, are like Indian burial ground.
Well, those are pretty.
Those are the bones you got to worry about.
Scary
Cameron.
movies have warned me that. But, I did look at quite a few rickety-ass houses. Like, this all started just because 2 houses over was going for sale for, like, now it's going for sale for, like, $80,000. But, that's an alarming price. And we looked at it, and it's because the foundation's crumbling. It has structural, like, the whole house is, like, bowing.
Not to make you scared, but I guess I'll share this. One of Megan's friends she went to college with is a realtor. Mm-hmm. And she told a story where a client of hers saw that a house went down $80,000 in price. Right. And they're like, oh, man, that's crazy. We should get an inspection. Why is that? It's because it was sinking into the earth. Huh. And they're like, that can't be worth it. How are you going to redo that problem? You know what I mean? So hopefully that doesn't show up with yours.
It shouldn't. Well, that's some of the properties we were looking at that were like long end. Were like, you should just tear this down and start over. Really, it's like not even structurally sound.
So the moral of my story is take care of wasp as soon as you can. And Cameron says, get an inspection on it.
Make sure you get an inspection. Well, you have to. That's what
the urban hermits are growing up. Well, we're dealing with wasp and homes.
That's what sucks though, is because you have like a tight timeline. You have like 5 days to get an inspection, like so many days to then like we have to get in contact with the lawyer to go through like to see if there's any like compensation because of the inspection. We have to go through the price again, and then it's all the dumb closing stuff. So like, I can't wait until this week's over. Like next week will be a more comfortable position where everything should be a little more for sure.
So I'm finding that pretty much since we decided to get married, every week's just to get to the next week. Does that stop ever? I just want to
Nah, it doesn't.
Like chill again.
Especially now that I'm about to have like a mortgage payment. So now I can say my wife and my mortgage and like, my damn bills. It's all, I'm getting all the adulty things.
That's the dream. That sounds fun. That's awesome,
Oh, also kind of cool though, if we do end up getting this house, it has 2 pool tables. It has one in the garage and one in the basement. And the one in the basement is in pretty good shape. It's like a fixer-upper. Curious to see the one in the garage, but I'm going to get really good at pool.
Nah.
Well, I'm going to play a lot of pool. I'm going to try to. I mean, I'm going to restore at least one of them, get rid of one.
I think pool is definitely one of those things. I bet you get pretty okay, with not that much. Sorry. I bet it doesn't take that long to get better than the average person.
Well, it's like we've said with table tennis. If you had a ping pong table growing up, you're okay at ping pong. If I have that pool table in the basement, I'm going to dick around at it, and I'll get a little better. I'm
Again,
bad
I will
right
say,
now. I'm pretty bad at pool.
Well, I'll never get better because I just won't put in the time. Unless, I don't know, maybe I will.
Over. I mean, if I get this house, I'll give you a pool table. You got to come get it.
Maybe Megan will leave me and I'll move in with you and I'll get real good at pool.
Living the dream.
Chances are I'll just get real good at like sitting somewhere at your place.
Well, you can come with me to the pool bar. There's one in town, and I imagine after I get good, I start sharking people there,
Oh, until you get sharked yourself. I actually listened to a Twilight Zone episode about that.
Yeah?
Like a week ago, yeah.
Lose all of his money?
I think he lost his life.
Oh.
It was, Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Spoiler alert, it was more like anyway.
I don't have the capacity to lose all my money. If I lose more than $200, I'm hurting enough to be like, well, I'm done gambling now. That hurt a lot.
The only reason I go gambling is because I know it's something that people like to do, but I don't find it fun.
I do enjoy gambling as long as like I'm in a financially comfortable enough spot to like, it's like doing anything else. If you're going to the casino, you're essentially saying I'm spending $200 for the evening. That money's gone. You're just doing it to play games, you know?
No, I totally understand that you give it away, but that can go away way too quick. What I'm saying is,
it can.
Here's the $200. I need this to last 4 hours.
You know what?
Otherwise,
that's why I am comfortable though, like getting off a table. I'll play like 3 hands and be like, time to hit up the slots for a while and kill some time, or try to like do one of these random like digital things that aren't costing me an arm and a leg, and I'm also not getting judged by a real life person that doesn't know I don't know the rules.
So I'm not a big gambler. I would imagine if I did real time, ass in a seat, I probably only gambled 2 hours in my life of total time.
I mean, me too. I've definitely spent probably like 4 times that in the casino waiting for people to wrap up. But my time, yeah, probably less than that, honestly.
Like where I've actually been betting like 2 hours tops. And and this is probably total time in casinos like 18 hours. So I've only gambled like 2 hours.
Every time I've gone to a casino, I've done something embarrassing where they've kind of been like, this isn't how you act at a casino. The first time, I can't remember exactly what it was, but
people are dicks at tables.
Oh, but I didn't know like where to get the chips from or how it worked. And I was like, oh, I want to bet with chips. So like I went up to like the cash teller and tried to like cash in some money for chips. Like, that's not how this works. You go to the tables, honey. After she was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to play some games. I don't know.
There's nothing worse than... It's nice when you're new to a casino and the dealer helps you, but it's the worst when they treat you like, what are you doing?
Never had anything other than condensation when I go to somewhere.
Oh, I've had some like chill people, even like people at the table like, hey, you should hit or blah, blah, blah. Those people are godsends, but most of the time it's assholes.
Nah, even like my few times at the craps table, it's been people who are betting a lot and do not want me to fuck up that roll. And that's too much pressure. I do not like gambling with those people.
Oh, craps people get fucked. That's just how you bet. It's eventually going to hit. I've had my most problem at blackjack when people think you stole their card. I'll give you my most embarrassing casino moment. I went to... I guess now he's my brother-in-law, bachelor party when I was like 21 or 22, right? I was pretty young. We golfed during the day. I got pretty wasted. Everybody got pretty wasted, but I was pretty wasted. We go to a casino at night. I get separated for the group. I'm doing my own thing. I think Megan calls me, and I tried to answer the phone. I'm like, I got to step outside. I'm not getting any reception. Wasted. So rather than stepping out of the front of the casino, which I thought I was, I just walked out and exit. And it was emergency exit. And this was like somewhere in Michigan. It wasn't like Vegas where you're, surrounded by casinos. It's just like a bumfuck like casino in Michigan. So I exit an emergency exit, and I am on the exterior of a casino on the back end. I have to walk all the way around to get to the front. It took me like 40 minutes. One, I was drunk, but two, those buildings are really huge. Big. Just walking, and it was grassy and wet. It was a nightmare. Megan's like, blah, blah, blah. Where's my dad? I'm like, I don't fucking know where I am. I'm on the outside of a casino. I'm trying to get to the front of this. God, it was. You could smoke there. That was nice, though.
Is it, though? It's always nice if you are smoking to have the option to do it inside. But if you're not smoking, it's just a nightmare. And I haven't smoked in years.
Well, the nice thing is, like, someone who's, like, less than a casual smoker, like, I can smoke here, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, that is your time to
bum. And then you wake up, you're like, what did I do? Why did I do this?
I think I'm just done trying to enjoy cigars. I don't like them, I'm going to stop accepting them.
I don't like cigars at all.
I love the idea
every time
of it.
I've had one good time. But actually recently I've kind of gotten to, how historically when people have babies they will hand out cigars? Yeah. Kind of want to do that.
Okay. I mean, here we go then. Let's see if we can get what was the time you enjoyed the cigar? Was it because of the experience or because of the cigar?
The experience happened. I was in Nashville.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like,
I was rocking an all-day buzz. And you could smoke and drink. A lot of places you can't drink and smoke. You could there, and I was the right amount of buzz, and I had some like whiskey, and I got to sit in like a leather chair. And I enjoyed my cigar, but I have most of the time just been on a golf course, be like, God, it's gonna take me 4 hours.
The only time I've run into that recently, I mean, really not since COVID, but is just being on tour, and mostly it's in Indiana when you're just in a random town and you walk into a bar and you're like, oh, you can smoke here, huh? But anytime I walk into those kind of places, I get looks that are you don't belong here kind of places.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, those normally aren't welcoming to outsiders whatsoever.
It was definitely a regular bar for sure, and we were weird.
I'll give you a hot take. I in general hate dive bars.
Well, it depends.
I don't like it. I've
though.
run into, I know people love them, but I rather just like a nice chill local bar, like a neighborhood bar that's nice, but not like a dive.
I feel like they run into a lot
and
of
when
the
I
same
say
thing.
dive is this, people look at you.
Yeah.
I guess I like a little nicer decor.
Well, I mean, a lot of the bars that
dive
you and me
bar?
would go to, at least in Chicago, where they were darker, they were like, older seeming, but they definitely, they even seemed like they had regulars, but they were also kind of more in hipstery neighborhood. So, I mean, it's not like we were getting...
Neighborhood bars are great. Dive bars, to me, I think it's a synonymous, and this might rub people. They're shitholes. It's like, oh, you like to drink in a shithole? Cool. I guess that's your thing.
like cheap beer
I can get
in
a
a
cheap.
shithole. Yeah.
I can get cheap beer at a not shithole. You know what I mean? They got PBR everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, I really just...
I don't need $1 beer is what I'm saying. I'm willing to pay $4 to not be in a shithole.
I mean, honestly, now when I'm drinking, it's more so like I'll just get something with a meal or if I'm eating. But like, it's been a while since I've just gone to a bar specifically to go drink. I mean, again, granted, a lot of this is COVID. Just that, I mean, in the last few years,
definitely changed that.
You don't go out as much to do that, or didn't.
I actually, towards the tail end, because I knew I was moving and I knew I was having a kid, I hit up I put some drinks down over the last 3 months.
Nice. Excited to finally start popping some of these bottles of champagne that me and Nicole got from our wedding and stuff, and now we have an occasion to do it if this house thing goes through. But
how many bottles of champagne?
At least 3, and then 2 bottles of wine.
We moved with about 3 bottles of champagne that we got through the wedding time, but Megan can't drink obviously now, so not just gonna drink a bottle of champagne myself.
You can do it. Have your cigar and then down the bottle.
Oh, I am having I'm getting drawn to the garage. I'm like, I just want to sit in here and not do anything. Happening. I want to sit in there. I want to get maybe one of those garage fridges full of beer.
Sure, then in the winter, you're going to need one of those propane heaters out there for you and the boys to sit out there and drink.
I got no boys yet.
Hey, all your friends are nearby. You just haven't had the boys over is the only thing.
That's true. I haven't had anybody over, but I would like to sit in the garage. We have a pool
table currently in what could be our garage. So there's we're honestly talking about making, it's a big ass 3-car garage. So we can make a section of it, maybe a hangout. I don't know. That's the one part of the property I actually haven't seen yet.
Your place? Oh, I've got a 3-stall garage. Right now, we currently just have 1 car, so we got.
Oh yeah, so we both got party garages. Sounds like you got some bag room in there. Some other yard.
Oh
games?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've got a lot of yard games that we've never used because we haven't had a yard. We got bags. We got what's that one fucking thing called?
The golf balls, ladder ball.
Yeah, we got that. We've got a spike ball. I've never played that.
Is that just where you throw the spikes in the yard?
No, it's like a little net. Looks like a little trampoline, and you hit the ball. It's kind of like you get 3 hits.
I vaguely. I've seen
When's the last time you've been to a beach? You saw somebody playing spike.
A while, honestly.
Okay, well they may not.
We don't beach that much. There's nothing too terribly close to us, and we're kind of far away from the lake here, so no.
That's one thing we started doing during COVID. It's just we're just wasting this, so we started going to the beach.
We only went to the beach once during COVID, and we haven't been in a while. I've been definitely getting a lot of sun and just outdoor yard work and dog walking, so I'm getting more vitamin D than ever. But
yesterday, I got maybe too much sun. I went on a walk. Mm-hmm. We got this little walk path around us, right? A little park with I believe it's almost. I counted the steps. I think it's a full track, almost like a 400. Okay. So, but it's got gravel. Mm-hmm. It's like an old school track, like gravel composite. Nice. Anyway, so I walked around it twice, and I'm like, I'm gonna jog. I was with Megan. I'm like, I'm gonna jog this lap, right? So I did that 2 days ago. Then yesterday, it was really hot. I went on a walk. I walked 2 laps and I jogged 1. So I jogged in total a mile.
Okay.
and then did a lot of walking. And my legs are crazy sore, and I either have to do it today or I'm never doing it.
You got to do it today, man. You got to keep doing it.
I got to do it tonight. But the moral of the story is I'm waiting till nighttime because I came home and I'm like, I think I'm dehydrated. I think I have a real bad headache. Well, it was way too hot to do
here,
it.
Though. It's been getting kind of fallish and nice and like lower 70s now, which is, well, at least 70s now instead of the 90s. But
maybe at night, it's hot here during the day so far.
I mean, I guess kind of, but as someone who I favor pants a lot of the time. I used to be a pants guy when it was hot. Granted, since COVID, I've just been nothing but shorts and leisure wear, so that's changed drastically. But I used to be solely, like, as a kid, I would always wear jeans in the summer still. I don't know why.
I learned my lesson. It was 8th grade summer going into freshman year. Everybody went to the Jones County Fair to watch whatever was left of Leonard Skinner. It was a big deal. I got in a car. I'm like, I'm wearing Doc Martens and jeans. And I sweated my ass completely off. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And from that day on, I'm like, if it's hot, I'm going to wear shorts. That's it. That's all there is to it.
The band had a show in high school at like the Iowa State Fair, and it was there. 90s, 100 degrees, and I wore like a polo with an undershirt and like skinny jeans, and I was so hot. And at the end of that day, when we got to the hotel, I wrung my jeans out like into the tub before we went down to the pool to try to just like osmosis soak up some water.
That's what kids don't get now. They're bringing back the baggy jeans.
Oh, dude, me too, man. I'm bringing back a casual, baggier look, and it is comfy.
Oh, you're into the baggy jeans?
Not like super baggy, but like kind of like more like a 90s like khaki, like a gray or like a tan khaki. Some of those bigger khakis, like that's kind of what I'm doing right now.
I think I'm showing my age, but I lived it. I'm not going back. I don't need like skin tight jeans, but
fitted.
I think a fitted pair just looks better.
I mean, it does overall, but I mean, what I'm getting isn't super baggy. It's just, I'm saying essentially I'm not getting skinny jeans necessarily or like super thin tight, you know? I'm not getting Jinkos. I'm not getting super crazy cargo pants.
No.
Just some like, you know, not skin tight fitted khakis.
I know this because I just moved. I still have like 2 pairs of jeans from college.
Not a chance. I've just changed sizes too much, but like, I feel like I just tear through my clothes too quickly for that. I don't know. They wear out so quickly for me.
Oh, they were like American Eagle boot cut like jeans, and I still got them, and now they fit actually.
Oh, yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Well, I was chubby. I got really not chubby, and I'm back to chubby.
Oh, speaking of Time Hop, did you hear that LimeWire's back now, but they're an NFT company?
I would stay clear of that if you don't want whatever you're downloading to. I don't even know what they would do because we can stream, but
it's NFTs. It's a new site for people to create and sell NFTs to each other.
Yeah, but if I know LimeWire, you're gonna click on that NFT and then it's just gonna give you like
a virus.
You're gonna think you're getting a Tom Petty NFT. But it's gonna be life is a highway.
Well, it's all gonna be regulated and stuff. You'll preview it, I'm sure.
All night long. I can't tell you how many times I clicked on a Tom Petty song and it ended up being "Life is a Highway" 6 hours later. Like, who's the scam? Was it the guy that made the song? I don't fucking know. I also don't get NFTs. I don't know what they are.
Ownership of a digital thing, essentially.
Sure, but like, if it's not music, what would I want in a digital?
I could draw a picture and then.
I understand what you could do, but why would I want that?
Well, it doesn't matter. The fact is, the people are giving it value, therefore it has value.
No, I get how value works, but I don't get how this got value.
Oh, I have no idea. Fuck if I know. I mean, it's essentially
this quote doesn't apply, but to me, it's like buy a whole lot of mums.
Essentially,
like, you do
essentially
what
it is. It's going to be for VR in the virtual world where you're buying all this shit for there is what it's going to be.
Oh, so we're like, what's that Steven Spielberg movie you like so much?
Ready Player One. There. Oh yeah,
Ready Player One.
Have you not been listening to me for the past year? There's like 4 different companies that are like, there are people that work full time in the metaverse already.
The closest I want to get to it is I'd like to maybe get a Westworld situation.
So you want to just fuck some robots, is what you're saying? They have real sex dolls, Jordan.
Yeah, but I want to do it in a themed place and not just my house.
You can bring it to Disney.
Sure, but do you know how much Disney costs? Do you know how much Disney costs? I'm not going to bring my fuck toy to Disney, not at those prices. Maybe Busch Gardens.
Hey, Busch Gardens ain't that bad.
Busch Gardens. No, and they used to serve you alcohol. I don't know if they do anymore.
What was your...
ideally, what we all want is the holodeck from Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah, that'd be great. Although that backfired on them a few times. Sometimes that became real.
It always is. There's going to be problems.
Question, though, what was your downloading site? I was a ShareBear guy and Napster back in the early days, but I never really used LimeWire. That wasn't so much my jam.
I use LimeWire, but I was normally just... at the disposal of people. I didn't download much for myself. I just bought.
Yeah, you mostly got big CDs from friends. You didn't. I much more delved into.
I didn't get into the game myself, but I believe a lot of them were using LimeWires. Although the Hearts had a CD burner like years before everybody. I'm talking like 5th grade for me, so that's like whatever it is. And they were using Napster. They were there at the beginning.
I did use Napster like in the very beginning, but I quickly moved to the other ones. But
it seems like LimeWire was definitely my generation's choice.
I kind of can't even remember when all that stuff stopped and we just started listening. I mean, I guess it was Spotify and iTunes that kind of did it, but no, it was more so Spotify that started it.
It was to me actually iTunes when you could cultivate and download things to your iPod. That's when I stopped listening to CDs.
Yeah, that's true.
And you could in the early days
put whatever on it.
Download a CD and put everything on it. That's when we all could just get Harry Potter easy peasy. But now it's impossible.
Beautiful days.
Now you got to rebuy it all the fucking time, which I have.
I'm waiting for somebody to give me a gift of all the physical books and all the audio tapes again, but no one's gonna do it.
No. Nope, those days are over. You just got to buy it for yourself.
I'm dropping a lot of hints now. I'm going to start dropping hints around my birthday. How cool. Well, maybe not the hard copies, but for sure the audiobooks again. That'd be great.
There's no way to get them, though. You just have to buy them.
Yeah, you just got to get them now through your whatever you listen to, but, whatever. I mean, I could just get different audio versions. I get like a rip version and put it on, but, I won't do that. I'll pay for it. I liked it. And theoretically, I've never paid for it. Like someone else has always bought me the book or something, so...
Well, I just recently, because of the Harry Potter reunion on HBO,
still didn't watch it. As soon as I watch it, the magic's over.
Your childhood or whatever.
It's my last
30 years old. You got to blow out the candle.
It's the last thing I can hang on to. Okay. Oh, I started watching Obi-Wan with you. I think I talked about that a little bit, but I haven't really gotten back into it yet. I mean,
you did share with me that somebody edited it
into a movie,
the whole series down to a movie length, and it's
curious into watching that. Yeah, I've heard nothing.
I want to watch that. I'm not curious. I mean, the show was fine. It was good from the episodes I saw. But I'm not going to.
I get it. I mean, I get it.
I am now currently watching, and I forgot to mention, I'm watching the new season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, is the new season's up?
I like that show.
I actually never finished the first. We watched the first few episodes last fall, but we just had so many different things going on and then Halloween shows to watch that we just didn't wrap it up. So we were kind of saving it for fall again. So now that there's 2 seasons, though, that's good.
I'm super excited to see and hesitant how. I think one of the best things about Chicago. There's so many good things about Chicago, but they go all out and they decorate really well. Lots of neighborhoods for Halloween.
That's true.
And I think I'm going to miss that here. I don't think it'll be the same. Even though there's a lot of houses here with the space, I don't think they'll go in the same
I wasn't in charge of the house last Halloween, so I wasn't handing out candy. But theoretically, this year I'll have my own place. And I mean, I'm in the suburbs, so we get trick-or-treaters. So I think I'm going to put a scary thing out on the front porch or something. Be one of those houses that has a jump scare.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have trick-or-treaters as well, because this is a neighborhood, and I see kids outside.
That's a problem.
I assume they're going to want candy, and it seems like a safe neighborhood with a bunch of kids. So, plus we'll have our own kids, so we're probably just going to.
Yeah, but it's going to be like just born for this Halloween,
No, I'm saying we won't go out this year probably, except to mom and dad's or Megan's parents, that type of thing. But we're not going to take a 2-month-old baby to. It'll be
its first Halloween bash.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. So I think this will be my first time ever handing out candy if we decide to do so.
Exciting. Will you hand it out, or are you just going to cop out and leave out a bowl and be like, take one, honor system?
I guess whatever Megan wants to do. I don't know. She grew up in town, so she's
used to this.
More used to this. So I guess I'll just kind of play it by ear.
You could just become a real urban hermit and just be like, get out of here, kids, and start chasing people off, Nevercracker style.
I probably won't do that, but I'd sit in the basement with the kid and be like, Megan, hand out candy.
Okay, so yeah, the drinking in the basement vibe, watching scary movies. I don't mind that.
Um, what's in the? Oh, here's a scary movie. Tell me if you watch this and if you see it, because I probably won't. The Black Phone. I'm curious about it.
Yeah, I'll get around to that at some point. I've seen a lot of previews for it. It looks interesting. Yeah.
I can't tell if it's a thriller or a scary movie. I know there is some supernatural elements to it, but I can't tell which one.
I think closer to scary.
I'm not
movie.
as into. Megan's a big thriller person, like the girl with the dragon tattoo, like that type of psychological thriller one.
Yeah.
And I like those, but I'm not into.
I like scary movies more than thrillers and suspense a lot, sometimes. I kind of like a campier, just slasher sometimes. You know, it's more my vibe a little bit. I mean, I like thrillers. Yeah. I do like. I mean, I like a lot of boring, thoughtful movies too, and thinkers. So I mean, I'm all over the place, but I like a good, shitty, scary movie sometimes.
The older I've gotten, I realize comedies, they don't make them anymore. Oh, that's what I realized. We said this in our last podcast. Our cable kind of had issues. We got to repair, blah, blah, blah. So I'm watching a lot of my DVD collection. They don't make comedies anymore for theaters. Like, they don't. And it sucks, and it's sad, and I don't know if it'll ever come
I was listening to some podcasts, and they were trying to go on about how they really don't make slapstick comedies anymore. But they kind of...
Maybe that, like broad comedies, like big comedies that everybody's talking about. I noticed this. I feel like the last one was probably The Hangover, and that's been a long time ago. Did everybody talk? The first one. That's probably like 10 years old.
Kind of. I mean, as far as straight up like slapstick, I would argue maybe like the scary movies, but those kind of dissipated. But they turned into like epic movies and hero movies and kind of the same camp but different themes.
I mean, I think they still probably
that
make
kind of stupid shit.
Yeah, like parody movies, but you know they just get released straight to streaming. But who's the biggest comedic star right now?
Kevin
It's
Hart.
weird, but Kevin Hart for sure. But who's the second? The Rock.
Yeah, maybe
because he's in Kevin Hart movies. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is our biggest comedian.
Yeah, that is odd.
That's
as far
weird.
As big,
that shouldn't
really
be the case.
Machine Gun Kelly's coming out with a comedy movie. Yeah,
really. So, like, even if you say, like, Machine Gun Kelly's Pete Davidson, he's never really been in a comedy.
His movie, but I mean, it was...
His movie wasn't a comedy.
It had funny moments, but it was a drama. It was a dramedy.
To me, it was more of a dramedy, which has replaced the comedy.
Somewhat,
which sucks.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, I don't know. We can be a part of this.
I mean, some of that might be also just, like, cancel culture, and it was just, I mean, not complete...
No, I would think that's a large part. People are kind of
a little more guarded to take risk
career
comedically right now.
I think it's probably that, and then also the movie industry with streaming. The only thing that makes movie money are comic book movies
and slasher killer murder things,
or reboots of existing IPs.
So the Quantum Leap series coming back. I've heard more about it. We've talked about it a few times, but I might have even mentioned this. But apparently, it's a continuation from the previous plot. So it's not necessarily he's even trying to look for Sam Beckett. Fuck the old characters. It's just like, we're picking up where Sam Beckett's research left off kind of vibe. So same universe, not like a reimagining reboot.
Well, hopefully they should have fine-tuned it and figured it the fuck out.
He did it again. He's lost.
2020. We just lost him again. So I'm just going to talk in this next segment like everybody listening has watched Quantum Leap like me. I'm not going to explain anything. This is going to be, hey, I hope you saw the episode. If not, go check it out. If it was me, I wouldn't make it past one leap. I would be stuck in the first one. I'd be like, oh boy, this sucks. And then like every day, Al would check on me and be like, so how do I get out of here? It's like, you got to win the big game. I'm like, that is not going to happen. Should I just start my life here? Is that
okay?
What
So the universe, does it give you another big chance? Like, okay, Sam, you lost the big game, but if you can get a B, you might get a scholarship to an okay college.
It just gets less and less and less and less. Now, I do believe that there is some free will in Sam's leaping. I don't know exactly if he decides to, but it's kind of up to them to do the right thing,
Wait,
if Al came to me, it's like
decisions. There's definitely no decision in where he leaps. It's just within his timeline.
No, but if you go all the way to the last episode, I think it's up to his free will. They're like, you could have left home if you wanted to, but it doesn't seem like you want to.
Oh, so when they're like, he never made the leap home, it's like Sam's doing his thing.
His choice.
Yeah,
right?
So he does have a wife he's leaving behind.
So outside of some like the real dramatic situations, that they'd be like, hey, they're gonna get divorced and have an awful life. I'd be like, well, then they're gonna get divorced and have an awful life. Like, get me the fuck out of this leap. I don't want to be here. Like, I don't get, like, who gives a shit? Did they save somebody? Did they not?
Funny start to an episode, just Nope.
Nope.
Right out. Nope, not doing
No
this one.
fucking way. This sounds like a nightmare. I don't know how to. You're gonna teach me to play the piano? Like, get the fuck out of here.
I'm about to give birth. Pass.
Pass. That's
It might have happened more than once.
Things that I think you should think about when you rewatch the series.
How many times did he have sex as a woman, and how did that work? Yeah, me too.
I bet it was passionate and awesome because he's Sam Beckett. Next question. Probably 5. Probably 5 times he had it. You know what I mean? Probably 5 times. They didn't make the series. How many times did he have sex in the series? Probably about 5.
Hard to say.
He kissed a lot of ladies, but I think
he had a wife. Did we?
He had sex for sure in the Vietnam episode.
It's been a while.
Okay, this is the last thing I'll say because I could probably just talk another 40 minutes on this. I would say outside of Chuck Norris and maybe Jean-Claude Van Damme, Sam Beckett, played by Scott Bakula, might be the top 3 people of roundhouse kicks all time.
It's up there.
He roundhouse kicks a lot in that show, and I'd like somebody to give me
the forgotten one. That show, I mean, granted, there's a reboot, and it is a cult classic, it seems, but...
It's a legit cult classic, I
believe.
But
he does not, for sure, get recognized for the roundhouse kick in his karate, so...
I don't think so. He roundhouse kick. Anytime he has to get
physical.
A physical altercation,
he'll throw a spin kick.
There's a roundhouse kick coming.
That's true.
I'm telling you. I think that there must be, if there's 5 seasons at 27 episodes about a season, I bet there's conservatively 100 roundhouse kicks in that.
That seems safe. You know, we were kind of talking about some of our viewing fatigue, but I am having a big problem right now finding a new series to watch post Stranger Things. And the biggest problem is it's just so hard to get into a new series post something you've loved so much. It's so hard. Yeah,
you always... I mean, I find that big, even more than when I watch something. You have withdrawals. When I read a book, I'm like, I need to find something that filled this void.
I'm having that bad right now. And right now I'm getting a lot of suggestions from like the streaming sites of like, oh, if you like Stranger Things, here's a bunch of things that are a lot like it, but worse. And I'm just comparing them too much. So here's what I'm doing.
The hardest thing is you're trying to find Stranger Things exactly again, and you just won't.
There are 2 other series that seem interesting that are like a creepy anthology that I'm going to get into, especially because like it's kind of right around when my birthday's coming up, where I get back into my.
Is it Unsolved Mysteries?
No, they're other just streaming Netflix originals that are like Stranger Things was great. Let's keep something like this going. But
try this out. Hear Severance. Me out. Watch Super 8. Just watch that. Take it like that. That's more like methadone. Like that'll take the edge off because that's good and it's only 2 hours.
I love it, but I have seen that movie a lot. Honestly, that's something I need to give a bit of.
I own that movie. That was in the mix.
Give that a watch. It's a good one.
Well, I think I'm gonna watch. You
know what? I did start The Boys, and I have heard a lot of things about the series.
I watched that kind of peripherally. I don't watch every episode, but Megan watches it, so I'll see it. It's good. I actually think you'd probably like that.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I've seen 2 episodes so far, and I do like it, but it's just another one of the, like, I'm not in deep enough, but also I find that I hate a lot of its big fans. So.
I get that. Sometimes
that's kind of pushing me away from it too, and I do kind of like it. It's kind of how I feel about. There's so many assholes that like Rick and Morty that it makes me question my liking it, but it's them. It's not me.
For us, Rick and Morty's kind of like that band that got a little too big, but I still think it's funny.
Yeah,
so I'm in. I'll still see them in concerts. Now I just got to sit. The analogy is like, oh damn, there's a lot more people in the venue now.
But I mean, I'm giving The Boys a chance. I am kind of liking it, but. I know there's a lot of just shock value reason that people are kind of into it, so I'm trying to just look past that as well.
I could take or leave The Boys. Megan watches it, so I see it. It's good. It's good-ish.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I need another series. So I'm going to try some of these spooky series out maybe. But again, around this time, around my birthday is when I get in that fall horror movie vibe, so we're probably going to get Shudder back again soon, and
I'm pretty much just an October guy. I don't get in there.
You know how I feel, though. This is my summertime, like Friday the 13th. I'm playing the Corey. I'm playing a game that's just summer camp, like
that's
horror.
True. You're way more into slasher films than I am. So.
And just bad zombie kind of stuff.
Oh, do this. If you're going to rewatch something, you kind of want like a mysterious blah, blah, blah. Try to rewatch that, what the fuck was it called?
Idea.
This is good content. I'm never going to get to it. I'm never going to get it. It had Matthew McConaughey and...
Scary movie?
No, the TV series.
Oh, True Identity.
He was like a true detective.
Sorry.
True detective. I'm like, he was a detective.
And he was really true about it.
He was true about it. If you rewatch that and let me know if that's worth
Can't
a
do
rewatch.
it. I rewatched it. I already did once. I rewatched the first season with Nicole because I was like, we're gonna do it all this time, and it's great, but it's heavy. I don't want to. It's intense.
Oh, you want light? May I suggest Entourage?
I've done that enough too. That's too light. I don't need popcorn. I have so many shows that are background watches that I tune in and out of that, like, I have an abundance of those. I don't need any more of those. I need something that'll actually catch my interest and like get me into it. I need a plot, for God's sake.
Well, if you find it, let me know.
I'll be on the lookout, but you're not going to like my suggestions because, again, I'm looking into a lot of scary, suspenseful series right now. So that's what I'm looking for.
Well, Megan might like those suggestions. She's more. I'll
throw it your way.
TV series, I don't know. I'm just more of a movie guy, so I pretty much only watch the TV series Megan suggests. But she likes to be part of every water cooler talk. So
this is a little reassuring though. So I've talked to a lot of friends throughout COVID, and our sister Amanda had this too, where
brag about it.
We're just people were having just kind of entertainment fatigue, where they couldn't watch like long form movies. We're just, because everything is in short bites, and they're just getting so many things through social media and like TikTok kind of things, that people haven't had an attention span for movies. But I've been talking to some of my friends. Our sister Amanda, she's been watching old movies again and just kind of slower plots. So maybe there's promise for the movie industry. Better. People are they want to get into something. They need more content.
Well, I think that at home, that's that's why I do like going to movies in the theater, because all the distractions and comforts you have at home
are gone.
You don't have at the movie theater, so you're going to watch the full story, and it's way better.
Is there anything coming out soon? Because traditionally I do see a movie on my birthday, but
Nope.
Really. Oh,
Nope is coming out July 22nd.
Oh, perfect. That'll be in time for. That's right around my birthday. That's good.
I might see it. I think it's getting okay reviews. I kind of want to see that Elvis movie, but I could.
Oh,
wait.
yeah. You know what? I've just never been big on. Yeah, a biopic movie. It's never been my jam.
For whatever reason, I'm into it. They're formulaic, but I'm okay.
I kind of like more so just like Across the Universe, where we're using a lot of source material, like Mamma Mia, where we're using ABBA, we're using the Beatles, but it's not necessarily about them.
Who would you? Okay, so this will happen someday, especially in our age group. Start writing the Blink 182 version of that, because it'll come out.
Yeah, that'll probably be a good movie.
Who's another band?
Green Day. They're probably more mainstream and bigger worldwide. Maybe. I don't know.
Green Day already had their...
American Idiot.
Broadway
they already
kind
of had their thing. Yeah, touche.
Not to say they won't, but I'm just saying, if you can make a Broadway play, Tom Petty.
Machine Gun Kelly has a Hulu documentary out right now. He's doing his own.
Well, yeah, but on himself, you know what I mean?
Another big rocker. Trying to think, or like hip hop. Like, I feel like artists go away so quickly now too.
He's done it he's done it 4 times, but seemingly like Bruce Springsteen just keeps telling his own story. I had a
weird dream that I saw him at like a small club last night. Just throwaway.
I'd almost want to. I feel like a lot of bands are like, oh, I want to see him in a small venue. I think I'd want to see him on the big stage and probably 10
I want to see a show. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I don't need a small venue.
I don't want to see him with an acoustic set being like, can't see nothing and running. That was not that far off from what he's doing. Terrible. Now. Oh, I watched the Mark Twain Award was given to Jon Stewart. I like that because a lot of comedians give.
It's essentially it's like a roast, but not it's.
It's a congratulatory roast. It's not
the Mark Twain Awards are actually,
and it is actually
those are actually really fun to watch. Kind of the Dave Chappelle one was good.
That's the only type of roast I hate roasts. I don't like them.
You and me don't like uncomfortable, pranky kind of humor. It makes us both uncomfortable.
Yeah, and roasts nowadays, I feel like back in the day, I like that James Franco roast because it did seem to be like all their friends. A nod to the way roasts used to be. But these modern day ones on Comedy Central, it's an aging celebrity or a young person.
It's just an annoying pop culture moment. We're having like a Paris Hilton or a Bieber or a Trump.
But it's nobody knows them personally. I think it's more fun when you know them.
Yeah, it has to be. That way all the inside jokes are hitting way funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why the Mark Twain Award's fun. It is a nice little ribbing more than a roast, but it's more congratulatory, which I like.
Well, good for Jon Stewart. He deserves it. Seems like he's always trying to do good things.
Why did I bring that up in the first place? Oh, Bruce Springsteen was a musical guest, and that's pretty much what I did.
It's always funny. Are they friends,
was him and Gary Clark Jr.
Just a guest?
They're both New Jersey born. I don't know. It's Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure they run into each other.
It's always just funny, just some of those random like celebrity friendships that end up happening. Like I was a comedian today who was friends with like legions of skanks. Like, oh yeah, I used to party with Lance Bass because we worked on a show together, and he's a really nice guy.
So the weirdest one that comes to my head is the basketball player Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg.
And Mark Wahlberg, and I don't know how they met. Just being rich.
Age difference there is super.
But there's like a 20-year age difference.
Weird.
Conservatively, probably like a 20-year age difference.
Jimmy Butler, what's going on? Do you want to go shooting out on my range or anything?
Sure. And then you're friends.
It's as easy as that. I mean, I guess it's kind of like that. I mean, if you had a friend with cool toys and stuff, it's still fun to go over there and play with cool toys.
I guess in the weird thing, and I'm not judging Jimmy Butler. It's like, sure, I'll hang out with Mark Wahlberg. He's really rich. And then if you're Mark Wahlberg, it's like, yeah, Jimmy Butler's a cool NBA player. I'm sure he's making insane money. We're doing cool, fun stuff. The only thing is, like, our context, like, I guess it's the truth of any relationships. Like, how can you be friends with someone 20 years younger than you?
So they're very mature. You're very immature. I feel like that's a lot of it.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Should we wrap up this episode this week?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. It feels like we had a good flow. Hopefully we'll get a third person so you don't just next week so you don't have
Mark's
to
been out of town, but he'll be back soon and we'll get everyone back in the mix. But thanks for listening to the Urban Hermit podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And also make sure you listen to all the good things coming out from the Majestic Jam Network, Cult Classics Podcast, I'm Not Crazy. And if you want premium content, make sure you subscribe to it on your podcast app, or you can go to patreon.com/Cult Classics Pod. Thanks for listening. We'll check you next time.